Nothing to say, just watching, listening. Hello beautiful humans, this is Eliza Kendall coming to you from Woorong in northern New South Wales. I'm in Bundjalung country in Australia and it is Thursday the 30th of July. Okay, so today what I'm noticing this week is those of us that have spent time working on clearing away the old patterns, particularly those coming from the old ways of the masculine, the old ways of the feminine, the separation that occurs between, the judgment that occurs between, as well as the clearing of the, let's say, the programs that came from being raised, regardless of what type of family environment you were being raised in an environment and a society that is founded on fear and constructed in the old way that we obviously know about now. We are moving into a new way of being in the world. And what I'm noticing is that many of us have spent a lot of time really beautifully so, clearing away these old templates, really rewiring our brain, retraining our brain in order to relate differently, in order to respond in a more unified way, in order to engage in a more compassionate, more curious, less judgmental, less separative, etc. kind of way. I'm noticing that many of us have done a lot of work on these templates, and we've been going back through the ancestry and healing some of the bloodline and going back through childhood and healing some of those old things and looking at how we used to be in the world. Particularly, again, I'm noticing this in relation with between the masculine and the feminine. So I'm noticing the ways that I used to relate to the masculine, and I'm noticing how I have cleared the foundation, or I've become aware of those foundations, and I've taken time to integrate the new me, as in clearing away those old ways of being and then co-creating. And when I say co-creating, I mean conscious, unconscious mind together as one. So it's not an unconscious creation, a conscious co-creation of the new me in the new earth, the way that I want to relate, the divine union way. And what I'm noticing with those around me as well as with myself is that as we do this, there is a little bit of remnants of that old pathway. Let's say the old ways of engaging or connecting. Now, I'm not just talking romantic either. I'm talking with any one of the opposite sex throughout your life. So I'm also talking parents, siblings, aunties, uncles, etc. I'm noticing that, you know, we are dedicated to changing this way of relation that has got the world into this pretty fucked up state that it's currently in. And as we dedicate ourselves and focus on changing those things, we're doing really well at noticing where they were in control, where we were controlled by our fear or by our ego, let's say, same thing in the past, and how that impacted and affected our connections. And what I'm noticing that I kind of wanted to share with you, that I'm trying to get to the point here for you, is that as we are coming back into this place of power with a renewed sense of self, as in, this is me in the new earth and this is who I want to be in the new earth and here's how I'm going to move forward. Then when we come into the situations that we used to come into with our old way of responding and being, some of the old ways of responding are coming up, but they're coming up in a little bit of a different presentation. So the content is different, but the meaning is still the same. And the reason why I'm getting an alert to this is because I'm noticing that the meaning is still the same. The meaning is still the same, as in the separated energy within me that wants to respond to this person in this situation is actually still the same, and I'm very cleverly changing the content, almost like so it appears like it's not the same, but then when I feel into myself, I can feel this discordance, I can feel the discomfort. And I've just noticed this occurring as well with a few people around me, and as we're having conversations about exactly this, about really changing our templates and rewriting ourselves in this way and coming into the new earth. And yet, just to kind of give you a bit of a heads up, to really be quite diligent now, like you've done the changes and you've done the work to come to that awareness. And in your process of self-actualizing and integrating the awareness and the changes, just really pay attention to the meaning, the energetic charge behind those situations now when you get back into those situations and you're kind of going, hey, so I would normally have said this and I would normally have said that, and that's pretty cool. I'm just encouraging you or suggesting to you to just notice in your body, where is it landing, where is it feeling? Because what I'm also witnessing is that as we take a few moments to just go, ooh, I can feel a little bit of that old grief or a little bit of that old loneliness or a little bit of that old rejection, and it doesn't have the same charge that it used to, and it's not getting to the point where it's changing my action. But I feel it want to, as in I feel it go, oh, you should move away. And so what is beautiful is that when we can do this and we can just take a few moments to pause in that situation and go within and notice the feeling and pay attention to that energy that's sitting there, that if you can just sit with it and go, that's okay. It's remnants of a past program. It's okay. It can be there. Don't be upset. Don't try to judge it. Don't try to change it or hide it or pretend it's not there. This is really key. Don't pretend it's not still there. Just go, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just going to let that feeling there, because I'm also noticing that when we do that, it just subsides and we come back to point of choice here. Point of choice that says, okay, do I move away? Do I run that old program? Do I get on that old train? Or do I just acknowledge that that is there and see if I want to choose another pathway? Okay, good. That feels good to share that with you as well. Wonderful. I also just want to say, well done to all of you, including myself. It's still a pretty hectic time. Keep mastering the art of discerned use of energy, really paying attention. Is your mind in the past? Is your mind in a projected future? Is your mind with other people? Is your mind worrying about other people? Or do you actually have all of your energy anchored into the right now? Because this, as you know, is when the most powerful opportunity to create change and to be of the greatest service you can be, is if you can retract and keep all of your energy into the now moment. So I'm just reminding you again, lovingly, as well as myself, to continue doing that. Awesome. Okay, that's enough of me. I'm going to see what our friends have to say. Okay. Feels a bit quiet today. Okay, thank you. Yeah, there's a bit of an indication here that there is a bit of a calm before the storm occurring right now, and that some of us can feel internally some tumultuousness, some pressure building. It is in many ways building. There is going to be another, let's say, wave of, I'm going to say, illuminated fear. Let's just say that. It's not fear that's created, it's just fear that's already within our consciousnesses, that is coming up into awareness. It's already within the subconsciousness of us, or within the the entity that is Gaia, within that infrastructure, within the hologram, and it is coming up to the surface to be illuminated. And so there is another wave coming very soon. It is going to trigger even more separation. So what they're really indicating now is that, to enjoy this time before it reaches the peak point of chaos. And so as they are encouraging us to enjoy this time now, what I have been shown is listening. Like they just sat with me and just said, hey, just listen. And then like I heard the ocean, and then I heard a bird, and then another bird, and then I heard the wind hit a leaf, and then I heard a fish in the river. And it ended up being this orchestra of sound instead of perhaps just one dominant sound. And so this is also something they're showing to us as a metaphor, to listen to all of the sound, and to not just focus on one dominant sound, but to do it from a place of peace, almost as if you were sitting by a river and you were observing the different sounds in nature, knowing that all sounds go together to create a perfectly imperfect, chaotic world. And that as the weeds within the foundations of the paradigm that this planet was run, there is chaos that still needs to be surfaced and cleared from the surface. It must come to the surface before it can kind of be what they're showing me to sort of be wiped away or actually evaporated off. So that's really interesting as well, that it's like the fire is going to meet with water and it's going to turn into steam, and it's simply just going to evaporate off the surface of the planet. But before that happens, there's a little more shaking, and they're just showing me an orange juice bottle being shaken up now to get some of the pulp that has settled on the bottom. And so before this occurs, there is an encouragement to, again, as we've said many times, to submerge yourself in nature, to sit quietly, peacefully, without any Wi-Fi, without any sound, without any entertainment of any kind, including another person or music, just sitting and being with nature and listening very deeply. If you cannot get out into nature and you are stuck within your house, you are isolating within your house, then listen to sounds of nature. It's very important. What you put in right now is literally creating the new templates for the new earth. Be aware of what you put in. Stop putting in violence, hate, war, pain, separation. Do not allow yourself to be diminished further, reduced further by calling that which perpetuates war and greed and separation as entertainment. It is not entertainment, it is entrainment. It is reductionism. It is smothering your life force, and it is continuing to perpetuate the fear inside of you. Be very discerning about what you put into your vortex, because what you put into your vortex is what will also have to move through your system, as in your own emotional body and your own mental body, and particularly for those who are sensitive. This is creating conflict inside of you. This is purging your adrenals and playing havoc on your central nervous system. Be nicer, be gentler, be more loving to yourself by putting in positive content. Okay. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it for myself. They're also letting me know that, because they were sort of showing me like TV and movies and stuff, which is pretty reduced to me right now, but I do like to be indulged sometimes. And they're also showing me music. This is something that's been coming for a while, where they're sort of saying to me, hey, those songs that set you up, do you still want to be listening to them? Songs that you loved growing up, that spoke of old paradigm things, do you still want to be listening to them? Even if the melody is something that really appeals to you and it makes your body want to move, consider the content. Consider the words and know that every word is an incantation. Okay, I'm going to see if someone else wants to speak. konoch kanati. Ki pumakomoa na la kanichili bumakala. O mi la kamoa poma rashni ki tu pa komala anakati chi pukamala pamola bojini kata. Si kinitu muala na kanatihu. Muala na kanatihu tanalatika. Sikino for malata. Roma batiniki. Making space more and more every day, making space, making space, making space. Clearing the old to make way for the new, clearing the old inside. And your inner landscapes and your inner workings and your inner notions and your inner identity. And yes, your inner belief systems, clearing those pathways now. Analysing, understanding, contemplating, digging through, sorting through everything that you have inside of you and determining what is appropriate for right here, right now and what is simply old news. Throwing away the old news just as if you would, as if it was yesterday's paper, knowing that you need to throw away and stop reading yesterday's paper before the new one will be delivered to your door. Okie dokie dokie dokie. All right, that's it for me and us. I'm going to sign off today. I have an 11-day embodying your divine soul's purpose in the new earth Lion's Gate activation. It's an online activation. I'm going to be giving you a channeling every day as well as a different practice to really get you into that place where we can clear away any of the blocks for you embodying your life purpose and get really strong clarity around that. We're going to call in our Sirius guides as well as our earth ancestors in order to unlock any past lives that have relevance to embodying your life purpose right here, right now, so that you can be of full service to the new earth. That's coming up on the 8th. It's only $44 for the 11 days. I've made it really affordable because I just wanted to offer this. I was very called to offer this by a bunch of different guides. So if you're interested in that, check out my website, elizakendall.com, and sending you lots of love. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Many awakened hearts make light work, and I love you. Talk to you soon.